Hello everyone, this is Dom here, and wanted to do a little video to go over. No, cat. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to them. Okay, well, come on up. To go over uh, some of the expectations as far as working with Avada and specifically working on the A250 staging site. So, and maybe go over some tips, tricks, whatever. I don't know, but just the kind of the way that we use it here. Um, I'm being joined by my cat. He's excited to meet you. So, sorry. Let's see if we can get this thing working. All right, 1 second. All right. Not sure if my video is working. All right, let's see if I can add another thing here. All right. Sorry for that distraction. For some reason, when I switch over to having a screen share with my camera, also with my webcam also included on my work computer, it doesn't really work that well. So I guess you don't get to see me and my cat the whole time, but at least you can see my screen. So that's something. Apologize for any audio in the background. My kids are home, so you know. Let's see. All right, let's get into this. So this is the A250 staging site, as you probably have seen, and I wanted to show you guys something that maybe you haven't been looking at, and that you probably should be. So if you go into the dashboard here, give it a moment. All right, so go into the dashboard, and I want you to go into the Avada Layouts. All right, you gotta go, cat. You got to go. There you go. All right, so now we got our layouts, and that's cool. That's nice. But what is a layout? Well, these layouts are basically the way that we've built all the pages on our website. Now, one thing I will say is that this A250 website is almost entirely 100% a copy of Vantage Point. So this header, this footer, all this stuff is almost entirely copied from the settings on Vantage Point, and so it should be, you know, fairly similar, and indeed it is. If you go to the home page right here, the home page is, oh really? I mean, how many things can interrupt me right now? That would be all right. So if you look at the home page, sorry about that, is based on this home page layout. Notice it if it says front page right here, and it has a header layout and a footer layout. And if you look here, this is I think this is the header, and down here at the bottom is the footer. Now it has been modified since I got this particular export of Vantage Point. It was updated from the way that it looked back then. So if you look at it now, this is kind of what it looks like. So it's got the same header. Let me go back up here. It's got the same stuff up here at the top. I mean, fairly, it changed a little bit. We've added some links and such, and it has that crisis line thing there too, but nothing major is different. But then also at the bottom, if you go to the bottom of this, it's fairly similar. It's pretty much based on the same layout because indeed it is the same layout. It's almost an exact copy of what is on Vantage Point, and that's cool. Um, but there's a reason that it looks that way, and that's because of these layouts. They're already created, and all you got to do is use them. So when you're over here building your pages, when you're starting to build a page, keep in mind you don't have to start from scratch. You can, you can steal from stuff that's already been done. And so the way I kind of recommend you go about it is, so let's say we're kind of based it on the podcast network header, right? So if we're going to go to the very top here and see if we can get to the VA podcast network. Now the VA podcast network header is this thing right here. It's just this little bar. It's got the VA podcast network link. It's got shows, privacy, and vantage point. Okay, that's great. Um, and right here we actually have it in here: podcast header, and then select page title bar, and then select content. So no title bar and no content were created. Now I will show you what a title bar looks like. Let's see, blogs.va.gov slash, actually, let me go to 30 Years Desert Storm. I'll show you where the title bar is. So this is the header. It includes the top menu and everything, all this good stuff. And then this little area right here is the title bar, where it says Desert Storm 30. It's got a picture. That's the title bar. And you can steal this and modify it. You can duplicate this title bar and make your own version of it, or you can do something completely different. It's up to you. Now, one thing you might want to consider is that if we're making a page, and this is why I wanted to show you the layouts, if you make a page and then subpages of that page, you might want to come up with some kind of a consistent styling, so it might be beneficial to you, well, to all of us, if you were to create a layout that should be used for all of your intended pages. So in the content hub, so you got the main page where everything's at, and then you have sub pages for each particular type of content. So like the main page would be something similar to the podcast network, and then it would, have different series stuff in here, and then you click to go read more about that series, like say Desert Storm. So let's say we're doing a Desert Storm. And then on Desert Storm, you might want it to have some kind of similar features. I'm not saying it has to, but that's just an idea. Actually, yeah. Sorry, I didn't have like an agenda or anything like planned in creating this. I just wanted to hop on and do a little recording. You know what? Scratch that. Sorry, because that would require us to rebuild the pages that we already have. Would have been smart though, but I don't think we're going to do it that way. So anyway, I was wrong. So sorry. But anyway, so despite that, you can still base it off of a layout, because the cool thing is you can use stuff that's already built in the layout. So this thing, it has the header that somebody custom built that one, but it has the same vantage point main footer. So if you're over here and you want to build a page, why try to build the entire thing when you can just build the internal contents? So what I'm saying is, if you would like, you can create a new layout. And so you can call it, let's say, DOMS training layout, and create this layout, right? And so what you're doing when you create a layout, let's see, did it show up yet? Oh, it's around here somewhere. DOMS training layout. All right, well, that's supposed to say layout, but you get the idea. So I just created a training layout, right? But it has nothing in it. There's nothing in it, and there's no condition set. So what I want is to go ahead and add a header. Actually, this is to click the plus, and you're going to create a new one. So I'm going to click on select header. Or no, maybe I was wrong. Oh, okay. So sorry, click the plus, and you can choose to create a new one or add one. And notice they're called sections. I wonder why that is. Well, let's go up here. Actually, I'm gonna go in here. Let's open up a new one. Layouts. Sorry, we're kind of bouncing around here, but I want you to get an idea here. Go to library. And notice you have a lot of stuff in here. You can create sections. And so if I was to go over here and create a new section, then it would show up in the Avada library as a new section. So, but what is the one that is already in use? Homepage, new header. Blog articles, new header. Well, where's new header? Is it already in here? I don't know. It's kind of hard to find. But what if I look under templates, maybe? There's stuff. There's some kind of header here. New header, blog, basic blog post. These are all templates. Desert Storm header. So here's a header. Maybe you can use that. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know where the new header is, but I mean, if you saw something that you liked and maybe you want to steal this Desert Storm header, you could clone it. Podcast Network. I'm not really sure what this is, to be honest. Let's click it and open it up. So now I'm editing a piece of layout. This is it's got lorem ipsum here. Make yours an active life. So let's take a look at it in Avada Live. Sorry, it takes a little long, and I'm not even going to have time to edit out all the slow parts. So I think what it's showing us here is this is what it used to look like. This is what the Avada podcast page looked like by default, because it comes with a it comes in some built-in layouts, and that's what this was. But let's say I wanted to look at this Desert Storm header, and then while that's loading, let's look at Desert Storm 30. Yeah, Desert Storm 30 header. It's right there. So if you really wanted to, we could take a look. Let's see, in Avada Live. Yeah, I don't care if I lose the changes because there were none. And then we can see if there was any changes or if there's anything on there. I'm not sure how much of everything got copied over, so I don't know for sure that this one didn't really get copied over correctly. Had to do with some of the content not coming over, but anyway. So I guess my point is, if you see something, you can copy it. Oh wait, what's global? By the way, usually, oh man, I was gonna say in screen options. Usually there's options here, but I guess not in here. You can change the number of items you can see on a screen. Let's go ahead and sort by title. That's weird. It doesn't show up. All right, well, I feel silly because I was trying to show you something and it's not here. Bummer. Well, tell you what, we're gonna go to Avada Layouts, and let's just say I want to find an existing section. It exists somewhere. I'm not really sure where. Maybe you could find it. But let's say I want to use, for this new training layout, I want to use the new header. Let's use the podcast header. All right, and let's say I like the footer. Footer should stay the same as every other footer, so let's go with the existing footer. All right, now what I'm gonna do is while I'm over, actually I'll go over here, and then I'm gonna go to Pages, add a new page. And I'm gonna call this DOM Training Layout, and I'm gonna publish it. All right. Give that a chance to finish up. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my Avada Layouts. Now I got this podcast header on here and I got the footer, but what I don't have is a page that this applies to. So what I want to do is set a condition. So I'm going to go to Pages and I want to make it apply to a specific page. And load more pages. I'll be honest, it might not be here yet. Oh man. How many pages do we have? That's it. All right, so I think what we're running into here is that I have not refreshed this page since creating the new page over there. So let's try it again, and let's add a condition, and let's go to a specific page. There we go, DOM Training Layout. All right, so now it's going to apply to the DOM Training Layout. All right, now if I was to go to all my pages, where's my page? Now let's take a look at this thing live, and let's see what it looks like. Remember, I just published it. There's really nothing on it. So one would anticipate that it doesn't really look like a whole lot. But yeah, well, it's got the footer correctly. I'm not sure what's going on with the header. Header's kind of messed up. But you can see the footer is perfect. So this might require a little playing around. I'm not sure what happened there. This might have to do with the fact that that layout item was, oh wait, you know what? Let's try to change it up. Oh no, not that. Unlink that. And let's try just the new header. And let's see how that works. Maybe the podcast header didn't show up right. Well. All right, cool. So that is there. And now let's try to refresh and see if it looks any better. I don't know if it will, because we basically tried to port everything out of Vantage Point and into A250, and now we're about to see if any of it worked. Nope. Didn't. Oh wait, it did work. Yay! So yeah, we got a header. So there we go. If you can track down where this new header is, you know, I could have swore it was in the library is where it's supposed to be. Or maintenance, patcher, plugins, performance support, layouts, icons, forms, sliders, dashboard. I could swear it's supposed to be in there. It's supposed to be in there. It's supposed to be called new header. But anyway, that is now working. And so now we have select page title bar. You can actually start building, if you want, you can build a page title bar. So if you wanted to do that, you can click this and create a new one and call it DOM Training Layout Title Bar. Create a new section. And from here, you can start building your title bar. You click on this little paintbrush looking thing, and that's where you can go to edit it. And, you know, I kind of like to edit in Avada Live. Sorry, it's wicked slow. And here we go. go. So you can add a container, make it a row full width, and then add an element. If design elements, you can make it so. If you want, you can actually style this column options. I believe it's been a while since I've actually done this, so you can go in here and design. Cat is being noisy. Background gradient. Well, if you would like a gradient, let's go with a reddish color. Sure, why not? And then make a bluish, tealish blue color. That is horrible, but radial. Oh man, this is amazing. Left top. Linear. Let's see. Oh, there, angle. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so now we have a gradient. And then if you want, you can add some stuff in here. Element, design elements, and let's say we want to add some text. Let's see, text block or title. Let's add a title. Oh, that's nice. Your content goes here. Well, I want this to be awesome page. I don't know why that showed up, but hey, maybe that's the way the title looks. So you can do this, and if I remember correctly, you can actually change the colors in here. I feel like you could. Yeah, you gotta toggle the full thing, but I believe there's another way to do that, and I could be wrong. But yeah, you can change potentially the font color here. Yeah, there we go. And that way, it's because it kind of helps because if you change it here, if you change it to white, at least this has been my experience in Divi. If you change this to white so that it shows up in this little gradient section, then you won't be able to see your letters anymore. So it makes it tough to edit. But if you go to the design area and then change the font color for the H10 or for the H1 to white, then it will work. So anyway, I'm done here. Let's go ahead and save it. And then let's go refresh our training page and see what happened. Did it work? Did it not work? I don't know. Thinking, man, this is tough. It's tough to develop when the pages take so long to load. Yeah, well, there you go. So now we got a header. So, it's not. So this doesn't actually. This is unfortunate. It doesn't always. I mean, you have to get creative to figure out how to make it go full screen. It's kind of a pain. You have to do some research to figure it out. But yeah. So basically, the idea is that you go over here and to the extent that you can make it, in a layout itself, like just make layout elements. That's cool because then you can duplicate those and use them on other pages. So let's say, for instance, we're doing America 250 right now, but you come up with a really slick interface to add content. Heck, you could actually build out an entire page, and I've done this before. But for the most part, you can build out an entire page from right here. You just build the header, build this little title bar section, and you can build it. You could technically build a content section, and then maybe if you wanted to add that content section to a new page, so it would be set up exactly the same. All you'd have to do is copy that section and then duplicate it basically, and then change it so that it pulls in different category. A different blog category than this blog, than this one, and you can have an entirely new page. Maybe duplicate the title bar and alter it so that it has a name that matches the page that it's on, and duplicate the content section and change it so that it pulls in a new category of blog posts, and then you have a brand new page. And all you did was basically take this style, or take this layout element, take this layout element, and use them exactly, and then duplicate this one and modify it slightly, and then duplicate this one and modify it slightly if you've built it out this way. So for instance, if I wanted to build this content right here and make a new section and call it DOMS training content layout, whatever, I don't, whatever. Then I could go in here and edit this thing. And let's say I want to edit in Avada Live. Some people like to build the wireframes and edit from there using the Avada Builder because that's kind of more like a wireframe layout. I like to do it live. But this now you're basically just editing the content section. So this would be the title. Up here would be the header, although it doesn't look right here. I don't know why. Probably because we don't have a global setup. But here's the content section. So I would add a container, and let's say I want it to be half by half, maybe. No, whatever. Here we go, 2/3 by 1/3. And then over here, I want postcard archives. No, I want a blog. Let's just make it a blog. Post slider. Yeah, fine. Let's do a post slider. Yeah, that's nice. Don't know what that is, but and let's put some archives. All right. I don't know what that's gonna look like, but let's go ahead and save it. And now if I go over to Dom's training page here, oh, that's silly. So I have saved that, and here's my training page. And now if I load it up, because I added a template for content, and so, yeah, darn it, my archives didn't work out. But it looks like it added a slider. Oh, that's cute. We need to get some actual pictures in this media library, because this is pretty garbage. So if you could add that to your list, going through and actually adding some photos that are from Vantage Point, that would be cool. This archives didn't work out. I'm not sure why. I could change that. So let's see. This is a dynamic. Oh, okay. I gotta modify it somehow. Content to display. Nothing found. Well, that's a bummer. I don't really know what this thing does. Post per page 0. Well, that's not good. All right, save. Let's go back over here. I'm not sure if that's going to help, but yeah, it didn't help. Anyway, if you get the idea. But so for this situation, if I want in this element right here, I can go to this column and go to the post slider options, and I can actually make it choose a category. Now the problem with this is that we don't have featured images on most of these articles, so it's not going to work. I need someone, in order to make this function correctly, I need you guys to go through and add featured images to these articles. Preferably featured images having to do with the articles. Maybe you can actually read the title of the article and then go over to Vantage Point and get the featured image and put it in here. But we need featured images for us to be able to test how this works. So if you could do that, that would be great. But as you can see, if I wanted to, I could just select a category, Born the Battle podcast, for instance, and it will only display Born the Battle posts in here, in this slider. And then if I was to go into the layouts and make a new layout, and this would be for the, I don't know, Vietnam veterans page. I don't know. We don't have one of those yet, but maybe we can make one. And then all I would have to do is go to the content. I could actually duplicate this. I would go into the library if I can find that item. Sorry, I'm trying to reorganize it. Yeah. Oh no, wait. Where'd it go? Oh man, this is a bummer. For some reason, stuff isn't showing up in here. elements, maybe. That's weird. Stuff just is not making its way into here. Yeah, that's annoying. It's very annoying. Well, it works on Vantage Point. I don't know why it's not doing it here. But as you can see, I mean, we got stuff in here. Header, it works. I wonder if maybe that's only a thing that you can do if you pay, since this one isn't actually. Uh, this is the like an unregistered version. That's a shame. But anyway, so that kind of blows up the whole point that I was gonna show you, is that I could copy exactly the layout and just use it again, but all I have to do is change it out. Well, I might have just showed you that for no reason. You may have to rebuild it every time. But anyway, the point being that you can build a page based on nothing but the layouts here, and then the only thing that you have to do after you do that is apply it to a page. Now, if you want to do it on the page itself, where all you do is add the header, add the footer, and then on that page itself, you could just completely build the internals, build the guts of it, then you can do that too. What I would recommend is at least to hit these three, 1, 2, and 3. And then just all you have to do is focus on building the content area on the page itself. So that's kind of how I deal with building pages in Avada. And this should be how you are building pages in Divi. Just keep in mind, Divi has something very similar. It's almost exactly the same, to be honest. And what we should be doing as web developers on the web development team is going through and coming up with a new design for our website, and then creating global layouts and then page-based layouts. So we should have a global footer, a global header, a global footer, and it should be the same throughout. And the fact that it's not is kind of unfortunate, because we're just building each page on the fly over on Vantage Point. So I'm not Vantage Point, over on DME Interns. But it should be all based on these layouts. So hopefully this is kind of helping a little bit. If you have questions, let me know. But you should really look into how to use these layouts. If I were you, I would create your own layout, name it after yourself. It could be Bill's podcast layout, or not podcast, Bill's content hub layout, and then Bill header, Bill title bar, Bill content, Bill footer. Although you probably just steal this header and this footer, so you don't really need to do that. So mainly you'll be worried about the title bar and the content. But that's all I got for now. Hopefully this helped a little bit. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks.